अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं
Shaking is a primal movement. If you look at any fire or anything like earthquake, these are the primal movements. Primal movements are the basic dormant force in nature, in our body. It's like the Kundalini. Kundalini essentially means energy of the cosmos concentrated within us. Within us, this primal force is the most repressed because all our basic superficial energy is into doing actions outside and mostly expressing some emotions and repressing some emotions. But whereas when you act, when you start to do shaking, it starts to shake up your whole structural system and it starts to activate your Kundalini energy. It starts to generate power and it starts to bring out your repressed emotions. It starts to bring out your repressed movements in the body. And shaking also represents the primal force, and which is in India we call it Durga. This primal force is what most of the yoga or tantra practices work on, but they work in a specific technical way. But in this shaking, you are just approaching it directly with more of a non-technical way, just shaking. There is one guy in Indonesia who make people shake for 8-9 hours every day. For him, the purpose is to activate the energy and for them to experience the energy of themselves as an energy form. Many people go there to get healed also because diseases like cancer got healed with shaking. Because with shaking, you are kind of creating a chaos within your system. Because what a sickness is that your energy, your cellular system gets into set pattern. And your body and your behavior, your emotions are trapped into that set pattern. Even if you want to do something other thinking or emotion, it won't happen because your whole body is into one pattern. It is stagnated there. So you start to think this is you. That's why many people who shake, they start to freak out after 2-3 minutes because you feel that some energy is overtaking you. And this overtaking of energy, it's interesting that when a couple is deep into sex also, they start to feel a shaking coming. And mostly couples don't experience the deep sexual movement. They kind of are not on that level to allow their energy to go into shaking and they start to will go crazy and express their body and start to dance and all that. So shaking is to generate, let's say, fire or heat, a flame inside you. And that shaking is to make your whole body, whole cellular system, even inner organs, they will get healed because when you're shaking, they go through a kind of shake in that many things body is able to throw out. And it's all one organic unity. It's nothing that there are thoughts, there are emotions. It's just all chemical as well as electrical as well as mental. And that's how we are formed with 3 dimensions. So shaking has to be done starting from the legs, shaking the legs and feet. And you have to invent different ways during that time, how you can shake your arms, how you can shake your whole spine, and sometimes shaking your pelvis and all that. But shaking and let it be powerful. In that powerful movement, you will notice many things which you are repressing will start to come out. It is powerful. It can be very violent within you also, but not in a destructive way. Like a volcano is not destructive. It just is the power of that energy. So if you have a sense of sacredness and reverence and allowing it, that is your mind, the male, allowing your feminine to come out. And that's where you're creating a connection with the feminine energy also. It will impact your life in the outside relations as well. Because women are repressed because women are much powerful than men. But they're repressed because of the male dominant society. With this shaking, it is very important that you feel your energy and don't see it as a problem. Oh my God, what is this? You welcome it and you address it in a sacred way. that reverence is what we need to develop in all the meditation practices, because this is a territory which is not yours. You think it is yours, but it is essentially very sacred cosmic energy which is forming your body. So when you start to shake and when you start to experience the real form of it, it is not just nice form, it is also aggressive. So in the beginning, you can even do it for as long as it kind of doesn't freak you out, and slowly increase the time from 5 minutes to 15 minutes, because it can be kind of overwhelming in the beginning. So you may feel some jerks in the spine, something happening in the spine. Your spine voluntarily want to move. Because when I do shaking, for example, I start to sing very, very mad singing classical, but it's not off key or crazy, but it becomes very, very like, it's like I'm on fire, you know. I'm touching every emotion into one formation of song. So this is the raw force which can become anything and everything. Like fire can become a weapon also, it can cook food also, it can become light also, it can become so many things. And there you will see your barriers, psychological barriers with energy. And those are important things to see, that if you feel you're freaking out, you just push it. You say, no, I won't freak out, I will allow. And because then you are leaving a certain pattern of your life and entering energetically into another pattern, another dimension of your energy. And that assists then later on into your spiritual growth as well. Because usually we want to move into different dimension, but we don't allow energetically. For us, this is psychological switch of certain thoughts. This is what people mostly think about spiritual process. No, it's a energetic switch. You start to live on a higher frequency, and shaking increase your capacity to contain energy. Right now, you can handle a little bit of laughter, a little bit of tears, and you freak out. But with shaking, you become very, very powerful. And when it's done standing, it creates your strong base with your legs also. And this shaking has been used in Tai Chi, in martial arts, in many, many practices to activate the energy. It's like a first-hand direct experience of Kundalini, not as a yogic philosophy in a book with a snake and with chakras. The feel of Kundalini, because you are kind of having it in small doses. Because if you do specific practices of pranayam and some focused practices, then when Kundalini wakes up, if your body is not ready for it, it is repressed. People usually go crazy with that. But with shaking, you're opening and clearing all the channels into your muscles, into your bones, into your cellular system, and all the because anytime we repress any emotion, any trauma, it always gets stored into the muscles. And that's why NLP, neuro linguistic programming, works on muscles to release the energies from the stored in the muscles. And one of the reasons why people are fat, because once that energy is stored, now you need to keep on loading it up with food so you don't feel it. And one of the reasons why people put on weight is that they're emotionally very repressed inside, sexually, emotionally, they're very repressed. So they keep on eating food, keep their body busy with digesting. So Kundalini cannot really create a chaos inside. For example, when you eat less, you have much more energy because now you're functioning on the Kundalini energy. But as soon as you eat heavy food, you are like numb because body is busy digesting the food. So this shaking is, let me say it like this: when you shake, you're inviting. You pray a little, you say, I invite the Shakti to come into my life, and you request to it as a worship that please take care of me. Not that you are activating and you will do what you want to, but ask it to please take care of me. This is kind of what was the approach towards Durga, that you are addressing her to take care of you. I
Mm.
do not know everything, but please take care. And that's how you address the energy. This particular aspect is missing in today's people who are doing spiritual practices. In India, first you really go with reverence. And even doing any meditation, you first ask that I am going to enter into meditation. You will sit in request for 5-10 minutes and then slowly enter there, because you're entering into a sacred energy which is not your property. And from there you ask assistance and guidance, then you start your practice. And when you come out, you just barge out, you leave seeking permission that now I want to end, and This is all kind of develop a attitude. So your body, your energy starts to behave like that also. Because if right now you treat your body as just your instrument, then it will behave like your instrument. But when you behave and treat it like a cosmic tool for life, then that level of wisdom also starts to enter. Because essentially it's the Durga, which becomes dance, which becomes meditation, which becomes your wisdom. It's the same energy you are activating. It can become everything. Let me say it like this: that dancing is action of the cosmos and expression of the cosmos. What we call work. You get up every day, go for your work, do things, relate with people, and all that. On cosmic level, it is a dance. For example, yoga asanas are the alphabets of those potential movements. It's like alphabets, they are complete in itself. But when you connect them, you have sentences. And when you connect more, you have poetry and thrillers and novels and whatever, you know. But essentially, it's one each words put together. Similarly, in body, dancing allows your creativity to express itself. And mostly people, their issues are, I have met so many people that their second most important issue in their life is unable to express themselves emotionally, mentally. So first here with dancing, you are learning to be free on the physical level alone. So in that, you do not have to perform any specific dance. You just allow this energy you have shaken up, activated within you. In the next step, you allow it to move how it wants to move, like a child, like a crazy person, let it dance. So this will introduce you to the new dimension to your actions. So when you do everyday action, you will notice that it is more like a dance for you then. And when it becomes more like a dance and just flowing with the rhythms of life, and that's where you start to understand the wisdom. Your best wisdom comes out when you are in a state of playfulness and dance. You accomplish much more. But when you are forcing a discipline, trying to get somewhere, you end up depleting most of your energy by resisting that action and getting bored with that action. So this dancing, like for example, shaking works with the legs. With dancing, it's the expression of the arms and hands, because arms are related to the manifestation and the heart. That is the Lakshmi aspect. That is the expression aspect. And because why fire? Why we create shaking through energy? Why we create fire? So that it can express and spread as a heat, as a light, as a wisdom. So your body has many things to say. Shaking is just to activate the fire. And because your body, mind, energy system is one, it has lots to say. Because finally, anything you think, anything you activate, it comes out in action, into expression through an action. It has to, but it doesn't. It all, in today's culture, it's all mental. But when you allow your body to dance, your intelligence becomes very fluid and very, very multidimensional. If you have very rigid movements, your intelligence also becomes like that. But if you allow your body to do as many forms and really enjoy it and really go for it, and there you will feel that kind of freedom you never felt before. Because on the physical level also, we are very repressive. We don't behave in a certain way. We have to look in a certain way. We have to, and break all that and let that madness of body to express. And that clears your heart and it will resolve many emotional issues. And it will clear many anxieties and many doubts within you. Because body has its way to express it, and be expressing through body is like burning and giving out heat. And what our issues are: repressed fire, repressed love, repressed heat, repressed light, and that's what is trying to explode. So in the third step, where you become absolutely still, you can stay standing also, because depends on you. Because suddenly from dancing, you can feel your energy much more powerfully if you stay standing and become absolutely still, or sit absolutely still. Reason for holding that posture is that you have activated your energy by shaking, you have expressed it. Now you are entering the deeper dimension of energy, which is the flow within your body. Usually our energy is busy, either we are busy with repressing it or performing actions outside. When we are in bed, we are still only when we are sleeping. Otherwise, we are doing something or the other. We never give chance to that Shakti inside us, that energy inside us to work for us. We always keep it busy by eating wrong and this and that and all that. But when after activating, expressing the energy, when you become absolutely still, then that energy starts to move through all channels in the body, all the energy channels. Now you are not leaking it out by moving. And then you have to also develop third will. One will was of shaking, you're activating the energy, and second will was dancing and expressing. Third will, the blank page of becoming absolutely still. Now you have to make a vow inside, no matter what happens, I will not move a single inch, no matter what is hurting, what is not hurting. For 15 minutes, I'll be like a rock. And that creates a ground for energy to be relieved of its responsibility to move for you. It starts to go deeper movements. And if you're just present, then that energy will become a silent music and movement within you. And then it starts to move to the third eye. All you have to do is to stay alert and aware. Whatever sensations are there, be present with them. Whatever thoughts come, notice them. Whatever emotions arise, whatever tinglings arise, you're just reflecting each thing. And with that, you are becoming aware of the listening aspect of your energy. Till now, you know the activity and dance. Now, the listening aspect of the same energy, which is wisdom. That's why these are called the Shiva is called Triambakam, three-eyed one. Durga is also called Triambake as a feminine. There is a wisdom of the body, there is a wisdom of emotions, there is wisdom of the mind. So first you activated the wisdom of the body. In second step, you activated the wisdom of the emotions. Now in the third, you are now coming in touch with the wisdom of the silence, and that silence is the command which will around which your energy will organize, which you have activated, and starts to organize your body, your mental system, your muscular system, your emotional system. And if you can just do these three things, you won't need anything else. And with this, you are creating fluidity into your emotions and energies. For example, people have problem with anger. So if you are doing this, if you have anger, if you become absolutely still during the anger, you will feel it will start to move into meditation. For example, people are feeling sexual. If you don't repress your sexuality and you don't have any way to have sex or something, and it's lots of energy, you become absolutely still. Because you've been doing this, channels are available. Energy never wants to stay any one place. If you don't give it a way where you want it to, and if you allow, it will start to move higher into your spine, into meditation. Brahmacharya and all is not about not having sex, but about giving direction to your energy on higher dimensions. And this specific practice will open your channels on all three levels. Then any practice you do, you'll have least of the problems. If at all, mostly will be psychological. Otherwise, on emotional and physical level, your energy is flowing smoothly. And you will notice lots of things will be there in the silence part, but becoming absolutely still will make you aware as a presence inside the body. And that is the first introduction of meditation I got for myself when I was 21. I sat still for 15 minutes. After 2, 3 days, I started to still for one hour because it was so amazing. And notice after being still, when you move, you have a different power and grace as a one body, one organic system moving. And then your movement has a power, then your movement has a grace.
Shri Ramachandra